Hi, Dr. Maura Cullen here, author of 35 Dumb Things Well-Intended People Say. The topic of today's video, which is part of the Diversity Quick Flick series, is how to make diversity training more effective. So we're going to give you 5 successful strategies. Number 1, you need to avoid the blame game. You know, one point of resistance that trainers need to overcome in order to be effective is to avoid the blame game. Many participants come into the training with the mindset that they're going to be blamed for all the social ills of the world. And disproportionately, many white folks have this perspective, and it's especially true perhaps for white men. They may feel as though they're walking into the room with a big bullseye on their backs, and as a result, their resistance might be incredibly high. Their previous diversity experiences also will have a direct correlation to the level of resistance that they'll bring to your diversity training. As diversity professionals, it is best to operate from the assumption that there are people in the room who have had negative experiences with diversity-related issues. Therefore, the first few minutes of the training are critical and will often set the stage as to how forthcoming and safe the participants will feel. They'll take their cue from the trainers and the consultants. And like most human beings, if we feel like we're getting blamed for something, we immediately get defensive and tune out, or we even can get hostile. That said, it's imperative for you to acknowledge that in the beginning, while framing it in a positive manner. Now here's an example. You might ask them, by a show of hands, how many of you have had a negative experience in the past with diversity training? What would you need today in order to have a more positive experience? Number 2, you need to debunk the Robin Hood diversity deficit model. Take from the rich, give to the poor. Many people in the advantage or dominant groups see diversity as a deficit model, that in order for you to win, then I must lose, that in order for you to have more, it means me having less. Like it or not, we have to address their concern. We have to answer the question, what's in it for me? People in the advantage groups often think that diversity is other-related, that it's not about them. But in fact, many feel that they're now the ones being discriminated against. Successful training programs need buy-in from participants. This goes without saying. And this can be accomplished by demonstrating how issues of diversity impact them and how they can benefit from such knowledge and skills. This does not mean that issues of privilege can't get discussed. In fact, conversations around the dominant group's advantages in life, they're critical in understanding the dynamics of social justice and diversity. However, my suggestion is not to lead with a discussion about privilege until you have addressed the what's in it for me question. Number 3, training initiatives should be skill-based. For people who are persuaded by the moral argument that diversity and social justice issues, that it's the right thing to do, they don't need convincing of the value of participating in diversity education and training. People in this group are often fond of saying, hey, you're singing to the choir, we get it. However, as I outline in my book, 35 Dumb Things Well-Intended People Say, even well-intended people can cause harm. Providing people with the necessary awareness, skills, and action to communicate around difference can be a huge asset in furthering diversity initiatives. Now, for those who are not so ready to jump on the I love diversity bandwagon, they're more likely to see the value of developing a skill set for increasing their own communication skills, rather than having their beliefs and values called into question. In addition, they need to be convinced that the skills needed to communicate across difference can be useful in all facets of their life, both professionally and personally. Number 4, establish power pyramid partners. Yeah, say that a few times. Every successful diversity initiative needs an ally and advocate at the top of the power pyramid, championing the cause. Change requires leadership, and the higher the advocate's position in power, the more likely the message is to be heard and taken seriously. Now, building partnerships is the most effective way to get buy-in from more people at different levels across the organization. For more details about power pyramid partners, hey, check out my video, The #1 Reason Why Diversity Training Fails, which discusses the importance of establishing power pyramid partners. It can be found at thediversityquickflix.com. Number 5, people need to be empowered and inspired. In order for people to continue on their path of competency as it relates to issues of diversity, they need to feel inspired and empowered. They have to believe that they can make a positive contribution to the culture and climate of the organization. Because of this, they need concrete action steps to implement right away. Otherwise, they may leave feeling overwhelmed or saying to themselves, hey, now that was good, but now what? Assist them in examining their spheres of influence and where they can make an immediate impact, personally and professionally. One simple way to achieve this is to pair them with another participant and have them discuss a stop, start, and continue action plan. This involves them having described one thing they're going to stop doing to build a more inclusive environment, one thing they're going to start doing to build a more inclusive environment, and one thing they will continue doing to maintain that inclusive environment. You see, they have to be reminded that they're doing some things well already and that they need to continue doing that. You see, diversity training does not have to be and should not be all doom and gloom. In fact, the more enjoyable and engaging you make it, the more likely participants will enjoy the experience and walk away from the experience with more information. And that helps build a more inclusive organization. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video and would like to receive the entire Diversity Quick Fix series for free, please visit diversityquickflix.com and we'll get them right out to you. And please feel free to share the link with colleagues and friends. And most importantly, please keep on doing what you do because you really do make a difference. Thanks.